This is Brent with another chart breakdown video for Trade Therapy. This is supporting our DOGE spotlight last week. Today's Monday, April 28th. We're talking about Bitcoin. We presented in last week's spotlight this inverted head and shoulders pattern that we had identified back in December, which was the last time we covered DOGE. We talked about this inverse head and shoulders pattern in that Bitcoin was at the neckline at the time. And we did see that breakthrough right out of that neckline and now a back test. And so we talked about how this is really actually really healthy. This is not a breakdown. This is really systematic right here. This is institutions using the media narratives and taking advantage of some of the uncertainty in the market to take out supply, unwanted supply. They don't want to absorb people taking profits on top of them, so they're going to try to take out as many of them as they can as they backtest these longer moving averages. So this was really not about losing trend control. This was really about gathering inventory at scale. And we talked about how this fits in really well with the institutional cycle for Bitcoin. We talked about how where this ABC corrective wave structure right here is very similar to these bull flag type patterns that Bitcoin forms in or has formed in this structure, this impulsive structure right here. It's a very healthy looking uptrend. We see obviously a series of higher highs and higher lows. We see it maintaining its relationship with its longer term moving averages. What we don't see is we don't see this big extension away from the longer term moving averages, where the shorter term moving averages and even the 55-week exponential moving average, the red one here, going almost vertical as there's an extension away from the blue 200 weekly exponential right here. So we haven't seen that yet. We did take a much closer look at the daily here and the completion of this C wave here. We do see volume coming in at the low. We do see long wicks indicating institutional activity and institutional buying. We do see some elevated volume levels as Bitcoin has gotten up into this overhead supply. So it's not really surprising to see higher volumes here. Some people will associate that with selling. Don't believe we're seeing selling right here. This looks more like a flagging pattern or a pennant that is developing here. We do see moving averages, shorter term moving averages, retaking longer term moving averages. We do see some bullish divergence as we look into the daily chart. And when we talk a lot about when we see bullish divergence on multiple time frames, that it is a stronger signal. If I go to a live chart here, this is our inverted head and shoulders chart, obviously. We see some very significant bullish divergence that has developed. And we see a really interesting comparison to this cycle right here, in that it's the last time that Bitcoin got out into some blue skies, and you can see that that's really where you see the extension. You see the longer term moving averages pointing or accelerating very steeply. We have not seen that yet, and so the next opportunity for Bitcoin to see blue skies is right over this supply line right here. So we'll be watching the development here. We do see some very bullish signals. We are beginning to see some additional volume come in. Some people think that we're not seeing the volume to support it. If you look back at the beginnings of the previous runs, you don't really see volume coming in until it needs to get through the overhead supply. We're at the part where we're getting through overhead supply, so we're going to be looking for additional volume to come in here. So that's our take on Bitcoin. We're long Bitcoin. We're long Doge. Hope everybody enjoyed the spotlight on Doge last week. And hopefully everybody's getting a lot or got a lot out of this video on Bitcoin.